Does it actually work?
No, absolutely not.
Oh, what about CoolSculpting?
If your cell is absorbed into your kidney and your liver, you're going to die. If you can avoid surgery at any cost, avoid it.
So it's just tricking your body into less appetite.
So that's the thing. You're taking more, you're taking more, you're taking more. Well, number one with the women is looks. And I think a lot of the women forget that.
What are some of the best diets?
Fit is sexier than skinny.
Hello and welcome back to 3D Media Live Podcast. Another day, another guest. I have a very special guest today, Bryan Greene. He's the CEO of The Look, top fitness center that specifically caters towards people that want to go really hard and losing weight, getting their life in shape. And he has tons of experience doing it, over 20 years, worked for Disney, worked for cheerleaders at Lakers. So welcome to the show, Bryan.
Oh, thanks for having me, Dimitri.
Good to have you. And how did you get into this industry?
Oh, it's a ball of accidents. Well, when I first moved down, I was a competitive skier in the U.S. ski team branches. I competed in freestyle, alpine racing, and just started going to college after that kind of ended because my body just was hurting. I had no idea why it was hurting. It was just hurting every single day. I'm like, I can't compete anymore. Didn't get it fixed, nothing, but I was continuing with college, and I was studying in speech, political science, kinesiology, and theater arts and acting. It was actually the reason why I came down. And 6 months after getting into one of the hardest acting programs in the country, which is at Cal State Fullerton, I found out I needed full reconstructive hip surgery, which was going to take me out of the program.
Wow.
And I was already studying kinesiology and political science because after I transferred from the University of Nevada, I had all this money, and they kept on saying, well, no, it's credits. I'm like, no, it's money. It is money. So where can I put it? Well, Cal State Fullerton has a loop that they just charge by a flat rate, either full-time or part-time students. And I'm all, well, how many credits can I take? And they're like, well, as much as the teachers will allot. So I took 29 credits, and I said, okay, if I have a kinesiology and political science, add it on top of my theater arts degree. And they're
Nice.
like, all right, but you have to get it approved. So I got it approved, and I just took a truckload of credits each semester. But I found out that I had to get full reconstructive hip surgery.
Wow.
The reason why was to get into that theater department, and I had 2 months to get back. They allotted me 2 months, or they were going to kick me out of the program, and I would have to reapply. And anybody who's ever been through that department, it's like 2,000 people audition to get in. They only graduate 6 to 12 each year, and that's for the complete program. You can graduate with the general studies, but to get the BFA in acting, you have to go through the program. Now, I was an athlete. I never thought I was going to be in acting. Then roll into my hip surgery. I had to get back in 2 months, so I started studying. I always was lifting and working out, but I then started studying physical therapy. How could I get back to school in 2 months? They told me 6 months. That's when I'd start walking without a cane or crutches. I'm like, that's not acceptable. I have to be completely off. So I studied, I worked out, and I brought my own physical therapy regimen to the U.S. ski team physical therapy. And
Wow.
They said, hey, sounds like a good idea. We're not sure, we've never done it, but why not? And there was 2 other people during the study, or that we actually wrote down as a study, because 2 other people were getting the exact same hip surgery as me. That was full reconstructive hip surgery where they cut the bone, they have to dislocate the hip, grind it down, put it back in, and make sure hopefully everything is okay. There's a professional bull rider, and then there was another professional cross-country skier there. I was downhill skiing, he was cross-country. When I left, both those guys were still on crutches. I was just on a cane. So my way worked, and they are still applying it, I think, as I know, for this hip surgery. But even though hip surgery has come far, far away from I got it in 2002. And then...
Is that a common injury in skiing?
No, actually it isn't. The back is, and that's actually, I broke my back at the T12 and L1.
How did you break that?
I can't pinpoint which one, but when you're jumping freestyle, you're jumping off cliffs, you're jumping off kickers.
It just snaps at some point.
There's only probably one that I think that I jumped off this cliff, and it was about 60 to 80 feet. And when I landed, I felt like I got kicked in the stomach by a Clydesdale horse. I couldn't breathe. I was just gasping, and I probably got up because I was on camera and laid right back down and just laid there for about 20 minutes.
Wow.
Skied home, or I skied down, drove home, and I just laid on the couch for about 2 weeks.
Do you know that something broke in the back or no?
Oh, actually, I didn't find out till the hip surgery. So
Wow.
after going to all these doctors trying to figure out what's wrong with me, I had 5 MRIs, finally gave up, went to the specialist orthopedic surgeon. He pulls up my MRIs. He goes, when did you break your back? I'm all, I didn't break my back. He goes, yes, you did. Your T12 and L1 are now 1. So you fractured it sometime in your life. Well, but I'm not paralyzed. I wasn't paralyzed. He goes, okay. Simple thing is that you can break your back without being paralyzed. And I'm like, oh, well, as a kid, everybody thinks that you break your back, you break your neck, you're done, you're paralyzed. But no, I just worked around it. That's what caused my irregular gait to jack up my hip. So that's why I had to get surgery, because it just destroyed the bone, destroyed the cartilage, and then I formed a calcium spur on top of the ball joint that stopped actually leg mobility and locked it in place. So that's why I had to get the surgery, and I had to get it now in that time when I was going to school, because they said if you prolonged it, you're just going to have to get a full replacement. You don't want that.
How long was the recovery?
Well, it was 2 months until I was walking on a cane. I got back to school and I was walking on a cane for 1 week, which was my stupidity. Everybody's looking at me like I work at Hot Topic and said, why does that guy have a cane? Like I was the Unabomber or something, and I got rid of it, and it hurt really bad. I suffered. I should have kept the cane, but probably I was back to a normal gait about 4 months. But then I went back to coaching skiing the year later. They said I would never ski again. They would never say I'd walk again.
I mean, back injury and hip injury, those are really tough to recover from.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like my uncle was a climber, rock climbing mountains and stuff, and he fell, broke his back for a year. He was like immobile.
Yeah.
He recovered through yoga and stuff like that, but it's pretty bad.
Oh, it's huge. I did a lot of yoga in college because Voice of Movement, it's part of it, is Hatha Yoga, and it's great. But I couldn't move since my back was locked up in my hip. It's something that continued afterwards, after my hip surgery, and it was great. It's really great. My back will never bend again, though.
So how did you figure out what to do, like as far as training yourself and recovering?
Well, it was a study. I actually found this study after researching, and we didn't, the internet was MSN dial-up, so it wasn't very quick. So,
AOL.com.
Yeah, so I had to go old school and find a lot of studies, and so went to the library, went to the local library, state library, and I came across an article of this knee surgery, these full replacement knee surgeries, and similar to mine, which was 3 different studies, and it was a athlete, the average guy, and then this older woman. They got the same knee surgeries, same time, and they were going to go through 3 different kinds of rehabilitation. So after they got the surgeries, they started the rehab, but the older woman dropped out. She said, I'm sorry, I know I signed up for this, but I just want to go home. They're like, we don't recommend that, but okay, we can't go against your wishes going home, but can you check in about a month, see how you're doing? She goes, yeah, I owe you that, guys. I'll do that. She comes back a month, and she's walking completely fine.
Wow, in 1 month?
In 1 month.
And how did she accomplish that?
Well, so the doctors were like, what did you do? What are you doing in rehab? She goes, I'm not doing any rehab. I'm just cleaning my house. They're like, what do you mean you're cleaning your house? Like, you have to be doing rehab. You're moving great. You have great mobility. You have great range of motion. This is not possible. So they said, hey, can we go watch what you do on a day-to-day basis? And she's like, yeah, sure, come over to my house. Well, she lived on a boat, and the constant
that's
rocking.
Interesting.
So I stole it from that. Now, it was a knee surgery, but the stability, the building of your stabilization muscles and everything that surrounds your joints is more important sometimes than building your primary muscles that are the functional movement of an exercise or even just moving.
So hold on, if a person doesn't have a boat to live on and he wants to recover, what kind of exercise can they do to supplement that?
So I started taking, what I said to him was, let's take a racquetball, let's take a tennis ball, anything. So anything I'm pressing with my leg, let's make it, stabilize. They weren't a big fan, even the bands. So we had a lot of bands where I was pressing into it and just keeping it where it was just shaking. So I was working on a lot of reflective contractions. And reflective contractions, like if I throw a ball at you, your natural instinct is to have a reflex to grab the ball. When the ball hits your hand, you're naturally going to grab it. Mm-hmm. Whenever you get surgery, whenever you have any damage to a muscle or joints, your body has to rebuild the initial muscles and stabilizers that have that reflex reaction. It's a tiny reactive that sends it from your eye to your reflexes that you just have this natural ability. Well, if anybody has known, when they broke their wrist, they broke their arm, they broke their leg, your muscle atrophies, and then just getting it to work again is
Yeah.
a
I
heart
remember
feet.
after being in a cast for 6 weeks, it was
It's weird.
very difficult to like bend the elbow and stuff like that.
Yeah. So building that signal from your brain to say move. I mean, what's that movie Kill Bill, where wiggle your
Yeah.
big toe.
It's a pretty epic movie.
Yeah. So you're just saying, wiggle your big toe, and so that was the same thing. I'm like, okay, so I was on crutches. Well, I was never in a wheelchair because you had to keep the hip mobile. So that when I was in bed, they actually had this machine that kept me moving so it didn't freeze the joint. And everybody's heard of frozen shoulder before, but your hip can be frozen as well. So after surgery, they kept it on this uncomfortable machine, keeping the range of motion. But after that, it was like, move your leg, and the muscles just went fire. So to build that firing, to build those reflective contractions, I said, get a racquetball, let's do this. And they said, hey, we've never done it. It makes sense, but let's do it. It's your choice. So every time they had me on a press, so they started me like laying down because they had limited weight restrictions. You couldn't put all your weight on it. And as they increased, we had the ball and just kept on shaking, kept on moving. Then eventually, when I started standing on it, I was standing on one leg, standing on that leg to build it up. Of course, it wanted to tumble, but you just had to build it and keep going, just like wiggle your big toe. Just had to do it. And I think it made the process much faster in the recovery. And obviously did, since the other two people were still in crutches when I left. The professional bull rider, he was still on one crutch, and I was on a cane. And we were pretty similar. I mean, I've never met an old bull rider before, so we were about the same age.
How old were you when you had the injury?
22. Well, the injury was probably 17, 18.
Oh, you started just the active recovery at the 22 age?
Yes, at 22.
Whoa.
And
if you didn't do it, then you would have been just limping for the rest of your life? Or?
yeah, they would have had to do full replacement, which that would have been horrible. They would have chopped off the part of the hip. They would have put a ball joint in there, and everybody's heard those at that time actually were really bad because you had massive recalls on them.
Mm-hmm.
Now we've come night and day where hip surgery, I wish there was parts that I wish I got it later, but I couldn't have. My dad was in and out. He's had dual hip replacements in the right hip and the left hip. He was walking the next day. I was supposed to be in the hospital for 10 days, and I begged to get out at 5. I'm like, let me out. I hate hospitals. I can't do it. Always made me sick.
Have you seen those machines where you stand and it like wiggles? And
Yeah, the power plate.
the one that I saw was at CES this year.
Mm-hmm.
It was Doctor something. And they claim so many things. It's insane.
Yeah, get a 15 workout.
Yeah.
So they're actually on.
Does it actually work?
No, absolutely not. Because as we talked about reflective contractions, the thing about reflexes, they're unpredictable. With that power plate, you're predicting it. And as much as I would love to stand on something in a squat position or push-up position and get a 15-minute workout, your joints and muscles have to go through a range of motion. Just locking in place, yeah, you'll get isometric workout, and yeah, it fires it up by shaking. But that's like people who are putting on those new muscle stem suits and thinking that they're getting a better workout than from lifting a heavier weight.
Or the ones that are like you put it on the thing and it vibrates.
Yeah, the muscle stem.
Yeah.
They won't. You have to take the muscle through the range of motion. If not, it's not going to build equally through a range of motion. You're going to be weaker in spots. Sure, if you held that one place, that's great. But unless we're robots, we're not going to be just locked in one place.
I know somebody that was using that Electra, whatever it's called, a girl. And her whole body went into some kind of a shock. I don't remember the details, but she ended up in the hospital, almost died.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I know they have the really high-powered one at med spas called M-Sculpt. I think now they have a Neo M-Sculpt. I tried it. I've tried actually everything so I can actually learn about it, so I can speak from a position of, oh, I tried this. This is how it felt. And from CoolSculpting to M-Sculpt.
Well, what about CoolSculpting?
Well,
the idea was I was in Germany in 2017 or something, 16, I forgot exactly. And my brother-in-law took me to, I was in Austria. It's like this new fad, whatever. In Germany, they have these machines. We were about to invest money in it and buy some, but I realized to bring it to America at the time was like a pain in the butt. Yeah. Because you have to go through FDA and whatever. But the idea was they would freeze your fat and then you poop it out or something like that.
It's supposed to pass through a urine stream.
Or whatever, yeah. I just don't remember all the details. They were trying to sell it to me at the time, but I didn't dare to risk it. Does it actually work or no?
If it does, it doesn't work as much as they claim. And the science, if you read about the two doctors who discovered it, they were in a park and they were watching two boys with popsicles. And the two boys had dimples. And they said, hey, that's how they got the dimples. Is that because it froze and then the fat cells died? And then it passed through your urine stream. So there are studies saying that that's hogwash. That's can't happen, because if your cell is absorbed into your kidney and your liver, you're going to die. There's things that happen that actually already occur, that like rhabdomyolysis. Rhabdomyolysis, when your muscle breaks down and starts actually being absorbed into your kidneys and your bloodstream, your kidneys, and you will start urinating Coca-Cola. It's very popular in marathon runners. It's very popular in CrossFit for a while, is that you just work the muscle so hard and for such a long duration that the muscle breaks down. Everybody who's had rhabdomyolysis knows the feeling, and it's an awful feeling. And sometimes the muscle doesn't come back because you literally have just dissolved the muscle. If you could say that, that's not really the medical term, but rhabdomyolysis is the breakdown of the muscle fibers into your bloodstream.
So that can happen from also like that freezing?
So no, so if that's what they're saying, it's happening, that it's going into your bloodstream or somehow it's absorbed into your liver and then your kidneys and pass through your urine stream. I don't know how at a massive absorption rate that it would be able to do that. And I've seen many people get CoolSculpting, and I've received CoolSculpting myself because I worked with med spas, and I said, hey, I only refer it if I try it. I had it done. It did nothing. I do know they have some negative effects where actually body fat cells are created from the damage.
How?
Supposedly that it has a reverse effect, that you damage the skin. And whenever your body is in a situation like that, has a reaction. So I guess it forms body fat cells. And if that happens, the company CoolSculpting will pay for your liposuction. I forgot the medical term that's called when that happens. But again, as much as I wish that I could take a cold vacuum to my lower abdomen, my back of my arms, just have a six pack. I would be hanging out with the Smurfs and Voltron and every one of my heroes from cartoons. It just is not plausible. Plus, they always tell you need to follow a diet. So how do you know what really works? Is it the CoolSculpting or is it the diet? And everybody I've seen who's done it, I have seen little to no effect from CoolSculpting. And also, it is a great sell. You just can't get one. We need you to buy the 6-pack at $8,000. Anything that you're supposed to see differences after one. I mean, I know with the lasers, you see a difference. If you get Botox, you see a difference. If you get a filler, you get, there's a difference. But if you have to do it multiple times to see the effect, is it truly working? And again, is it the diet?
For me, it's like if something truly works, everyone's going to do it.
Exactly.
It becomes ubiquitous. But
yes.
I don't think that's the case with this CoolSculpting. It hasn't caught on. I mean, when I saw it for the first time, I thought maybe that's a new thing. Mm-hmm. But it's been almost like 10 years.
Yeah.
It had a chance to really go viral.
Correct. And even the M-Sculpt is very similar.
Like Ozempic actually seems to be working because people are using it widely now.
Correct. Ozempic is being used by people who have diabetes to the everyday house mom who doesn't need it for their diabetic reasons. And it is the magic potion, so to say. It's a peptide, branched chain amino acids. And the greatest part about it is it's eradicated gastric bypasses. Where gastric bypass, there was 2 different forms where they would cut your stomach lining in half from a major invasive surgery, or lap band, which was the plastic rubber band like item. Wasn't a rubber band, but it was an item that was circular, and it would cut off the flow to make the stomach smaller, and it came with like a pump.
That's for like people to have extreme weight loss?
Correct.
I actually know somebody like that, and unfortunately they passed away recently.
And was it from the surgery?
I don't know. They lived after the surgery probably another 15 years, 20 years, but I think they got cancer or something.
Okay. So
maybe it's related after the procedure, but he was like super obese, and then he turned super skinny. So I guess it did work in a sense.
It does.
But maybe it shortened his life expectancy. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's hard to say.
It's really, really invasive. I mean, everybody will say it. If you can avoid surgery at any cost, avoid it. It's very hard on your body, from the anesthesia to the cutting of your skin to the.
Right.
It's not pleasant. Even with my hip surgery, sadly, I saw the operating room before they actually started giving me the anesthesia, and it looked like I was walking into Home Depot with chrome tools. And I started to freak out. I'm like, what's that being used on? I mean, it was like table saws looked like. And it's a brutal process. They cut up your bone if you're getting something like that, and the bones go flying. They're wearing full shields. And I still actually have a particle of bone inside by my hip. And every time I get an x-ray, they go, oh, what's that? I'm like, that's a particle of bone. They go, oh, it happens. Because shards of bones are shooting off. But anytime you can avoid a surgery,
right.
which GLP-1s, tirzepatide, which is Wegovy, Ozempic, Mounjaro, and they're coming up with some really fancy ones.
What about like the long-term effects? I've read some articles saying that there's really bad side effects long-term.
Yes. So
and they also say it's like derived from some kind of a snake poison or like lizard poison or something.
Oh, I'm not sure about that. I've never heard the snake poison one.
BS article.
But I wouldn't doubt it, because it's wherever they find some of these things. But it's how do I put it? It's the long-term effects of anything that's foreign into our body, and we only have had it for a short amount of time. We don't know. We truly, truly do not know. What we do know is that, yes, it can cause digestive paralysis. Similar to if you ever go in surgery for anesthesia, they wait till you go to the bathroom, because your stomach and your colon, they might shut down. It goes into a paralysis. So they make sure it's working before you leave. And GLP-1s slow down your GI tract. So if you ever actually have to get surgery, you have to be off the GLP-1s or tirzepatide 2 weeks, a minimum of 2 weeks before you get the surgery, because you have to have your GI system flowing at a normal state. So it slows it down, and which is great because, well, for the people who are obese, it makes them feel full. And GLP-1 is actually the name of the signal that your stomach sends to your brain. So without science behind it, think of it as two friends calling each other up and be like, hey, yo, this is stomach. What's up? What's up, brain? What's up, man? What's going on? Yeah, dude, I just ate down this huge steak with french fries. Yeah, I'm full. Okay, that means stop. Yeah, stop.
So just tricking your body into less appetite.
Correct. And it is. It's tricking your body into having a less appetite. It's sending the signal that you're full.
In other words, if a person just doesn't eat as much, he doesn't need the medication.
Correct. Exactly. If you just
you can avoid
hey,
all of this.
If you train your body, and if you can do it the natural way, that's great. Everybody, the natural way of, I just am going to regulate the way I eat. And a lot of people have that hard time for it. And then that's how people become obese. Also, I have a lot of clients who've been on it, and they've lost maybe 11 pounds, and they're on the highest dose.
And they're working out simultaneously.
And they're working out.
So you can't even tell why they lost 11 pounds.
Exactly. And the thing with people who don't lose weight on it, there's multiple reasons. A lot of places right now are getting their GLP-1s from a med spa, from dentists are selling it. I mean, you'll be crazy. Everybody can get it from somewhere. And you just have to question the pharmacy, because they can't make it identical to Mounjaro. They can't make it to Eli Lilly, which is the parent company of Ozempic. They have patents on it. So they have to make compounds. And so you don't know what dosage you're getting of the GLP-1.
Which one's the best one, like the number one?
Mounjaro seems to be the best working for amount of clients I've trained with it, that they get the most bang for the buck, which is also the most expensive out there.
What percentage of fat they end up losing? Like losing weight's not generally the best thing either.
So I've had
because if you're working out, sometimes you gain weight from the muscle too.
Correct. And this is also where the negative effects of suppressing your appetite. Your muscles need fuel. They need protein. They need carbohydrates. They need fats. And if you're not taking them in, you're not feeding the muscle. So a lot of people, they've done studies of 50 to 75% of the weight loss is muscle. Because people who have a problem eating, they're not eating nutritious and healthy items. They're not eating protein. They're not going for the steak. They're not going for the chicken. They're not going for the fish. They're going for the chips. They're going for the alcohol. Now, they're just eating less of it, and they're missing the main building blocks. So if anybody's going to do it, the doctor, that's prescribing it needs to tell them, you need a protein-based eating plan.
Yeah, that
means
makes
you
sense.
number one.
If you just eat less of crappy food,
Exactly.
it actually doesn't do you any good.
Yeah, it's just like, okay, hey, I'm cutting you down from crack. So instead of having this much crack, have this much crack. So, and it's not great. It's like, hey, we need to wean you off. And also, people become dependent on it. So a lot of these women, especially in the area that we live in, they're becoming so dependent on it because they're getting addicted to how skinny they are.
Is there like a rebound effect if a person stops taking Ozempic?
100%.
Oh, they just gain the
100%.
weight back?
Yes, they will, because they will get ravenous. Once you cut off that drug, your appetite's going to go through the roof.
Oh, crap.
And you will have just a never-ending appetite of, I need to eat, I need to eat, I need to eat, because you get dependent on that signal being sent of, I'm full, I can't eat anymore.
Does the effect of the drug decrease? Do you have to keep increasing dosage like with other drugs?
So there's a happy yes. They start you off with the minimum dose, and they increase it over time, depending how do you feel, and how much you're losing weight. So here's also the thing where I think a lot of people who are prescribing it are becoming irresponsible, is they keep increasing the dose.
There's definitely a huge money grab in this.
Oh,
thing.
yes, it's monstrous.
Yeah.
$1,800 a month is for Mounjaro, $1,200 for Ozempic. It's huge, and it's a lot of profit from not only the Eli Lilly, but a lot of the doctors who are getting kickbacks. As always, we know with it comes to drugs, they're getting a huge kickback, and also the ones with the compounds, they're getting it for $200, and they're selling it at $1,800.
Wow, that's a nice profit margin.
It's a nice profit margin.
I need to rebrand.
Yes,
really quick.
right. So I need to get into it.
Yeah,
It's-
I'm gonna start selling them at the door.
Well, it's the genius. Everybody's been wondering, been waiting for the magic pill. I was part of my ads. I would put in there, are you looking for the magic pill? There isn't any. Well, now there is. It's a magic little shot that you take to your stomach once a week. But again, when we said that some people it doesn't work, like that client who's only lost 11 pounds, he's been on it for a year. Nothing. He's a doctor. But he loves food. Loves food. Whenever you listen to him speak about food, it's like reading a romantic novel. I'm pretty sure the 50 Shades of Grey person was listening to him talk about food. And he'll come in and be like, hey, how's your eating? He goes, oh my gosh, the croissant. It was so delicious when it hit my lips with the butter and crispiness. It's a croissant. It's a croissant. He loves food. So even though he's getting the signal, which we all get.
Did you notice he's eating less now, or?
Yeah, he does. But all he did to try to help curb that was take more. So that's the thing. You're taking more, and you're taking more, and you're taking more. He's going to eventually, how many people can afford $1,800 a month for a drug?
And also, like, after a certain amount, it becomes really dangerous. You can't just keep increasing the dosage.
Yeah.
But does it level out at some point? Like with, for example, what you might call opioids, right? It will just infinitely increase until nothing satisfies you.
Correct. And that's where they think where they get to that point where it levels out, that you've already lost significant amount of weight.
And they
to
can
take
just
it
level
out.
off.
So, and then again, the best parts of is that we are getting away from diabetes, America's number one issue, number problem. A lot of people say, well, this is the number one death. No, obesity is dominating us. And it is helping with the obesity rate of people who have diabetes, because diabetes is a very painful way to die. But also, so is undereating. They both are painful. Just one, you enjoy a little bit more. Eating is a lot more enjoyable than starving yourself. So that's how people just eat and eat and eat. Because a lot of times people are using that for happiness. It's their dopamine release. I mean, like I said, I referred to that doctor of, oh, the croissant. He loves it. It's such a dopamine release. And you can't steer away from it. But we're helping out with diabetes. We're helping out with obesity. So I think there's people that'll say, hey, the juice is worth the squeeze, the long-term effects we'll see in the future. I mean, I don't doubt that we're going to see a number of lawsuits, as we do with all medications. But the long-term
overprescription,
yeah, and I think a lot of these doctors, as always, are just being irresponsible. I think there's other ways of, hey, let's try you on an eating regimen. Let's try it, because there is a way to still live your life.
But they're not going to make $1,800 a month.
Correct,
Come
and
on.
that's the other part. Yeah,
That's a
exactly,
problem.
right? It's like going to an orthopedic surgeon. You need surgery, but is there other way? You could try rehabilitation. I'll send you this physical therapy, but get surgery.
Yeah.
And then you have the responsible ones say, hey, let's send you to rehab first, a PT, and see how you feel from there. If that doesn't work, let's do a couple other things and then try. Then we'll have to go to surgery. But some don't care. It's like living around here with Botox and plastic surgery. I always say it's like some of these women look like aliens. And you're just seeing it's like the doctor, this is their canvas. What are you doing? Why do these women have these cheekbones that make them look like they're from another planet?
It's getting completely out of control.
Out of control.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's getting, the funny thing is it is getting better. Like they're constantly improving their ways to cut and chop and like pull the skin or whatever it is.
Yes.
But it's still, that's the natural thing.
Very unnatural. And a lot of them, I asked one of my doctors who his practice had a med spa part of their hospitals. And I asked him, I said, hey, what's going on with these doctors who are making these women with the huge lips and cheekbones and their skin looks so glossy because they're pulled so tight and the other things that they're having injected in there? Why are these doctors doing this as an advertisement? You know, that's like getting a Lamborghini and putting just obnoxious color on it. You're hurting it. Why? I mean, putting bumper stickers all over it. And he goes, well, think of it this way. If they don't do it, they know that they're going to go to another doctor that will do it. And they're still paying off their third yacht. Well, more like their third divorce. But and he goes, yeah. And he goes, also, it's another is a statement to my friends. Look how much money I put in my face. Look how much money I spent. Oh, I just went this. Look at this. I don't know, but that's the cost of their looks. You know, once again, it's something that has a negative effect if you just do too much, because Botox was supposed to just refresh, not completely alter. The fillers and everything else, from the threads to the new new things that they're coming out with, is just making them look more alien-like.
And the other problem is it's all superficial too. It doesn't make the person healthy. Like, you want to look naturally good from health, not just like you pull the skin a little bit. What's underneath it is like, first of all, accepting aging. I think it's normal way of life. I had my cousin at the podcast. She's a really highly esteemed dermatologist, and she said, you know, I personally believe like aging is fine.
Yes.
You don't have to go crazy on all these things. Like, you want to maintain your health, absolutely. But to kind of cheat aging, accept who you are and then work around it to live longer and healthier.
Yeah.
But to pretend that's something that you're not, I think that's, and I agree with her 100%. I think we have this kind of crisis in the country that people want to, it's not just the country, in the world. People want to show something that they're not, and it's not like working out. That's a different thing. You're actually improving your health, longevity, and as a result, you look better too. But for me, that's not the primary goal. Like, I started working out with you, and it's not about the looks. I just want to feel healthier. I want to live longer. I want to be with my kids for many more years.
Exactly.
If I look better, it's a bonus.
Yeah, it's so most of the men that come in, yes, they know that looks are secondary, that come with it. But number one is primary. Number one with the women is looks that they come in. And especially in the area that we live in, it seems to be dominated by the looks. We live in an area where people are just extraordinarily attractive compared to just, gosh, every time I go back home, it's like, wow, I'm in a culture shock. Because you're not seeing as many fashion design.
Home, New Jersey?
No, Tahoe.
Okay.
Now it's at Tahoe. We even go to Jersey. Actually, we went to Jersey about a year and a half ago. Same thing. You won't see as many fashion purses, clothes. You won't see any T-shirts that say Prada. Where here, you're like, it's a Tuesday at lunch. Look at that guy's watch, wallet, her purse. It's a lot of dress for show. And so a lot of the women, they have a lot of social activities. There's events. There's the Orange County Housewives. And they all think they have to look a certain way. They have to be so skinny. That's why Ozempic. I think I told you this one time. I was walking out by the school out front here, and I looked down, and there was an Ozempic pen. I'm like, this is so Newport. If you go to Compton, you find heroin needles.
Right.
Here you find Ozempic needles. And I kept it. I was going to do an Instagram like, this is so Newport. And I'm all, wow, that cost a lot of money. This is, what were you injecting in the parking lot? Like, wait till you get home. And they need it now.
It's the wealthy people's drug.
It is the wealthy person's drug. Like, I thought it was cocaine, but now it's Ozempic.
Do you see the South Park episode?
Oh
with
yes,
Ozempic? All the moms.
I feel it's what it is. Is that they're like, I need it. You're like, no, you don't need it. Just keep on eating. But I should get it because Lois down there is doing it. Lois. You're like, okay, just because Lois is doing it and your friend is doing it doesn't mean you have to go do it. But they really, really think that they have to keep up this look, this persona. And same with the Botox and all the fillers. It's hard. And I think what, the aging gracefully, a lot of the women is also, especially in this area, the women forget that an older woman they actually get sexier. And they don't think that because they see the young girls and the older men are going after the young girls, and you look at the Robert De Niro's and they're going after the young girls, the Alec Baldwin. But there was a series of movies that usually people forget that these girls were older and they were sexy and they were icons and they were called Bond girls. The youngest Bond girl was Jane Seymour. They were like, she was a little young, but she was the youngest.
How old were the rest of the?
Over 30.
Oh, wow.
If you watch James Bond, you're like, how old is she? And you Google it up. Most of them are over 30. Some of them are 40. I mean, look at Halle Berry. Mm-hmm. Was she 40, 45 in that
but
Pierce Brosnan?
Did Halle Berry get any work done on herself?
Probably. I mean, probably. But at her age, look at Jennifer Lopez. Look at Shakira. All the women now have this sex appeal about them. And James Bond actually started it all. It really did. And I think a lot of the women forget that they have a power that the younger girl does not. The younger girl is cute. She's sweet. Yeah, innocent. But its sex appeal comes from an older woman, and they forget that. Is that power, that grace that comes from maturity. And when they embrace that, they will stand out more in the room than the girl who's in the Vegas cocktail dress.
It also highly depends on, I think, personal relationships.
Yes.
If they're married to the right person, and that person gives them love and attention despite how they look, they wouldn't try to seek it. Or maybe it's just women naturally want to look good in front of each other as well.
Yep.
I think men are not like that.
Oh no, we don't care.
Yeah.
No.
As long as our mate likes us, I think
that's right.
Right.
You still find me attractive? Sure, honey. Yes. Yeah, it is. I think so. It's definitely the partner. I mean, I hear so much from so many women that I've trained over the years, and as we talked about, I started training. My initial niche was pro cheerleaders. From the Laker girls to the Clippers, to Ontario Fury, the Chiva USA was my first team that I trained. It just broke off because all the cheerleaders go to different teams. And you would just hear the most amazing things that guys that we would never say. And one of my ads that I used that was the greatest hit that I had for a while was a slide that you had one picture and he slid it to the right. And I got it from a Laker girl. And one of the boot camps.
Wait, what does that do? Before and
the
after?
carousel, yes.
Okay.
I just used the carousel. It wasn't before and after, it was a phrase.
Oh.
And I got it from a Laker girl. So what I did was I took two people in the dark. It was a silhouette about to kiss. And I said, when was the last time you had sex, ... scrolled with the lights on? And it was them kissing in the light. And it came from a 23-year-old Laker girl who women would die to be. She was in great shape, blonde hair, pretty face, six-pack abs. And she said during the boot camp, because girls hilariously talk, I have to say, girls' locker room talk is way worse than guys. So, and when you get to be a fly on the wall when you're just walking around, like, did you forget that there's a guy in here? And they're talking, and they go in. And I forget how it's said, but one of the girls starts talking about how she just can't with the lights on. And half the girls are like, wait, what? And she goes, I'm insecure. I can't with the lights on. Always has to be with the lights off. And all the girls are like, you're nuts. And she goes, nope, lights off, under the covers. And they're like, why? And she goes, I just don't like the way I look. And it's just like girls going to the mall. You will never find a girl who loves to go to the mall. They love to shop, and they hate it at the same time because they hate trying things out. This doesn't fit me. This doesn't fit me. And every single woman I've ever trained, same story. They love it and they hate it. They love it when they find something.
I've seen so many memes where it's like the guy looking in the mirror and the girl looking in the mirror. He sees himself like macho, and she sees herself fat.
That's right.
Yeah, it's like a gender thing. I don't know.
Oh, totally. Because how do we shop? I never try anything on. I'm like, my size.
I never either. Yes.
Grab it. We get home, try it on. Damn it.
Return.
Yep. Got to take it back. It doesn't fit. Well, why don't you try it on at the store? I didn't want to. It's my size. Every time. But that's the difference in guys, girls shopping. We just, there it is. Grab it. My size. I'm good.
I took my daughter shopping with me, and she was picking stuff for me. Papa, you should try this on. You should try this on. You should try this on. I said, no. Let's just grab this and go.
Yeah, but just grab it. Throw it in the bag. Yeah, we'll definitely never know what it's like to just go in and be like, this doesn't look good on me. How do I look in these jeans? I don't think a guy's ever asked that. I mean, our wives will share an opinion.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like those jeans. Why? They fit. I don't like them. All right, fit fine to me. But an insecurity that they will always have to deal with. And yes, they're friends. As you said, they're friends, the people they hang out with. But when they date somebody or they're with somebody that lifts them up, it is a game changer. It is completely a game changer. And I also, from training so many husbands, wives, boyfriend, girlfriends, and then people I never meet the other half of, there are many things that go down the road that you just hear and you're like, well, why didn't he just say, you look pretty? And it goes such a long way. Such a long way. Just saying, you look great. You look wonderful. Because we just, even us as guys, we need to hear it once in a while. Girls, they need to hear it probably daily. 5
times an hour.
Yes. Yes, exactly. I mean, of course, from their significant other, it gets old. And you're like, when I used to tell you looked pretty, you're like, oh my God, thank you. Now it's like, no, I don't.
Yeah, my wife now says, I don't trust you when you tell me I'm beautiful.
Yeah. They don't trust. They don't trust because you're like,
now the strategy is not to say it for as long as possible, and then boom, it sinks in.
Yep. I love it when they forget. Like, you haven't told me. No, I told you yesterday that you looked pretty. Well, you were lying. No, did I lie? I was telling you looked pretty. There was a skit that I watched. We watched a couple weeks ago, and the wife is reading a date book. And she looks over at her husband. He's sitting on the couch watching TV, and she says to him, hey, how about we try you just telling me the full, complete truth? And he looks at her. He says, I don't think you want that. She goes, yeah, I think that'd be great. You should do that. No, I did. I just told you wouldn't like that. And it's a new skit. She comes out. She's putting on these jeans. She goes, am I fat? He says, no, you're not fat. I mean, you're fatter than you used to be. It just goes through all these situations of him telling the full, complete truth. And at the end, she's like, how about I tell the truth about what you? I'm like, no, I wouldn't like that. I told you wouldn't like that, and I wouldn't like that either. But yeah, it's funny how they hear it all first.
We're built different.
Yes.
We're built different, and it's a good thing. I think both genders have their advantages, but for guys, we're so straightforward and maybe less sensitive as a result.
Yes.
But we're like, boom, this is it. My wife always says, you're always trying to fix everything. I said, what's wrong with that?
That's right.
It's like, no, you got to listen to, like, so we're talking about, like, with our kids. Like, I see a problem, I'm trying to get to the bottom of it. No, it's just sometimes it's not about talking to fix the problem. Just give them a hug, give them a kiss. No, but maybe we can fix this, resolve it.
That's right. Figure a solution.
Yeah. But anyways, so what's the solution? Let's get back to the topic. What's the solution for working out and fitness? Like, what's the best thing to do nowadays? What's the big latest trends? I know, like, you've been telling me to drink a bunch of protein and stuff like that. And can you explain a little bit more why that's important?
So protein think of it as your foundation of your house. It helps build your muscles. It helps repair your muscles. I like to use analogies because a lot of people don't understand science and they get lost and it gets kind of boring. So I use the analogy of a car. Think of protein as the engine in your car. It's the power, it's the muscle. You need to put oil in your engine. Protein is your oil. Then you have carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are your gas in your car. It gives you the energy to go through the day. It gives you the fuel to go through the day.
Carbohydrates, like all the sugary stuff?
Yes. And all carbohydrates convert into sugar. A lot of people are like, well, that's so much sugar. Well, it's a carbohydrate. It's going to convert into sugar anyway. So you take those in for your energy. And the whole goal is you want to be starting with a full tank and end at an empty tank at the end of the day. Then you have your fats. Your fats are your gear oil. They will help with energy, but they also help in focus. They help with hormones. They're fantastic. So you need to bring them in, but you always need to have protein as your base, especially you need to take in enough protein to help build muscle and build muscle promotion of the fiber. So it's one of the best analogies I use so people can understand it. So they go, oh, okay. So they go and they try to ration out proteins first, proteins first. If I don't take it in, even if I'm not using that engine, I need to have oil in it or it's going to break down, it's going to fail.
What are some of the best diets for people that are working out and stuff like that?
So the best diet is the one that you can adhere to for a long time.
It doesn't even matter, like some people say keto, raw, this, that, meat.
It's whatever works, from the carnivore to keto to paleo. If you can do it as a lifestyle and sustain it, perfect. But also, diets are meant to die. All of them. They're not meant to be long-term. A lot of them, it's also a great gimmick, is that everybody's always going to fall out of keto unless you are a psychopath and you can stay in ketosis and never drop out. But once you have a beer, you're out. You're done. You're out of ketosis with that. So unless you're perfect and you're a robot, then you're going to follow keto. You're going to miss it.
Sorry to interrupt you. Have you heard of a drink called hard ketones?
Yes.
So I tried that today, literally today. So nasty.
Yeah, it's
so
terrible.
Bad. It's like drinking a used tire. I don't know, the smell is awful, but apparently they say it's better than alcohol because the way it metabolizes in your liver and it puts you in ketosis and it gives you a buzz. But I did feel some kind of a buzz. I had one can of it. I don't know if I had ketosis or not. I didn't measure anything, but what's your thought on that stuff?
Well, you
can kind of replace beer with it.
Yeah, I'm very curious. I have to see what's in it. But I wonder, it usually takes time, usually about 7 to 10 days to actually come and fall into ketosis.
I've seen people on YouTube drinking that garbage, and like they test straight away they're in ketosis.
Interesting. Yeah, I have to see this. I haven't actually seen this, so I'm going to check this study out. I just know that even ketosis has its side effects that people don't enjoy. You get the keto flu. You also get the keto smell. I used to joke with the trainers because I'm like, if you smell, other things smell, and your dating life is not going to go as well. And they're like, what? I'm all, you don't think other things are going to smell? And then a USA Today article comes out called Keto Crotch. And I'm all, oh,
really?
And they thought I was making it up. And I'm like, no, what do you think? Come on. Any place that has dermis that you breathe, that you can smell, is going to smell. And just amplified in areas that you do smell, from your armpits, everything. So it's one of the negative effects. Plus, we also, another thing like Ozempic, we don't know the long-term effects because it's relatively new. It's a high-fat diet. It's 80% fat content of your diet.
A lot of people don't know how it works, myself included completely. I looked into it a little bit.
Yeah.
So like the keto diet, you just eat a bunch of fats.
Correct.
And then it's supposed to put your body in this overdrive to burn fat?
Correct. So it puts you in ketosis. So
it's kind of counterintuitive almost.
Yes, exactly. So now again, think of that. 80% of your diet, your daily diet, is fat. When you have so much fat, that's why actually it's like eating a lot of French fries. You feel sick. It's deep fried, a truckload of fat. And it's hard. And of course, they're not going to say to do that in ketosis for keto. They're going to say, well, get avocados, get fish, get this, get your fats from healthy fats. Yes, of course. But we all know that you just feel sick. Like, go drink a shot of olive oil. You're going to run off to the bathroom. So there's many things that have a negative effect until you fall into ketosis. So, but again, is it long term? Can you keep doing that for a long period of time as your lifestyle? Most likely no.
So that's like a way to kind of hack your body. And the whole idea of ketosis is just burning fat.
Correct.
Burning more fat than you have.
Yep.
Which you can also get through just working out.
Yeah. And you also just...
That's a natural way of ketosis.
Yeah. And a caloric deficit. No matter what, calories out and calories in, or calories out expends more than calories in, you're going to win. You are going to win. Then that's when you play with nutrition to have your macros fit for you, because you want to look the best. No matter what, you also want to be the healthiest. So if you want to look the best and be the healthiest, There is the great way to do it, which is bringing your right macronutrients of protein, carbohydrates, and fats, or there's just the caloric deficit, which you're just taking in less calories than you're bringing in, like Ozempic. So what's Ozempic? You're bringing in less calories, so you're going to lose weight. But again, you lose muscle. You lose it in your face. You lose it in your glutes. That's why they have the Ozempic face and Ozempic butt comment. You can look it up in all the studies because the fat starts going from here, the muscle starts going from here, and it goes from your glutes. So the women have draggy glutes. They get really skinny. So then you have to go, yes, I look great in clothes, but you don't look great naked. And people kind of want the benefits of, hey, if I'm losing weight, I kind of want to look great naked. Of course, again, you're fitting those small clothes, but ultimately, in front of your partner, you are getting undressed. Are you going to feel as confident then? Because we know how women are, especially when it comes to cellulite, when their glutes are saying, I don't like this, I wish mine were more full. Of course they do, but you're not going to get it from bringing in a caloric deficit. So if you're bringing the right amount of protein, you bring out carbs and fats and stay just a little bit under your needed caloric deficit, you will lose weight and you'll keep your muscle. And then eventually when you get to the weight that you'd like to be, you can then start bringing calories back in and build a little muscle and maintain it. So you can also live a life. And that's the thing is we all want to go out to eat. We all want to have a drink one time. We also want to go and live our vacations and not worry like a psychopath that, oh my gosh, how many calories did I bring in? I'm going to gain weight. People should look at eating as a 7-day quiz. If you get 6 out of 7, you're still getting a passing grade. You're still doing well, even 5 out of 7. It's when you get to that 4 out of 7, you're not doing too great. Also, you have this mentality of when people eat bad for one meal, that they ruin the day. They didn't ruin the day. Just get back on eating protein. If you went out to go eat and you had mashed potatoes, you had steak, and you had asparagus with butter all over it, have protein shakes later. Also, you can plan for it. There's certain steps that you know that you're going out to eat with the friends tonight. Plan for it. Have just protein throughout the day, and then have carbs and fats at night, and you will have a good ratio for the day, and you won.
What happens if a person just overdoses on protein and doesn't work out or whatever? Doesn't it turn into like negative?
Well, it's same thing with calorie in, calorie out. If you're eating more protein to raise your calories high, yes, it will be stored as fat. Does it get utilized? That's the telltale time of like how much.
How do you know
protein.
how much to utilize?
Well,
how much to take?
There's different studies out there that say, oh, well, you should only bring in 40 grams on your side, 60 grams. Most people in the fitness industry will say you want 1 gram of protein per lean body mass. Because if you have a 300-pound person come in and they have to have 300 grams of protein, it's way too much. So it's not going to metabolize it. You're not going to utilize it. But if you see them and say, hey, look at their body fat, you take the percentage of their body fat, you find their lean body mass, and you do a 1-for-1, that's the amount of protein that most studies say is the best for your body.
How much did you tell me to take? Like 140 or something?
We're at probably 170.
170 grams.
Yep, 170. So think that's it, your lean fighting mass, your lean body weight. And then, well, eventually as we build muscle, we increase it because now you have more muscle and you have to lead the way. So a lot of it.
I'm downing these nonstop. I don't think I'm hitting 170.
It's really hard. It's really hard at first.
Yeah.
You have to really enjoy protein, especially at meals. But you think like a bodybuilder, which is, they are the extreme. They're taking in up to like 250, 300 grams of protein per day.
Wow.
That's why they're constantly eating, but they need to feed the muscle. And again, putting that oil in the engine. But is that sustainable? Absolutely not. Bodybuilders' lifespan is...
That's not normal.
Yeah, it's
I think
not normal.
95%. And for me personally, I'm talking about looks, like what's actually looks good or not.
Mm-hmm.
Some people, like especially women, they think they need to lose all the weight, but I tell my wife also, like, she sometimes works out and she gets too skinny, and I said, no, that doesn't actually look good.
Yeah.
I like some fat on you.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And it does. You're exactly right. For guys, and I wish, but it's hard to say that, to tell women, say, hey, we actually like you when you have more weight on you.
Yeah.
As much as that's hard to hear, they don't understand. It's like, hey, fit is sexier than skinny. It really is. And if someone has, just with women for 6-pack abs, they're in a very low fat content where their hormones are affected. Usually they're on PEDs. Like what most fitness influencers won't tell people is that they're on a PED of some sort.
What's a PD?
Performance enhancing drug.
Oh.
And there's a lot of them that women take. And they won't tell you, because usually when you think of steroids, you think of PEDs. They think, just huge monster. I'm going to get these
Raises
traps.
testosterone.
Yes,
levels.
and blast it out in deep voice.
Nice mustache.
Yes, but there are PEDs for women that actually are called the female steroid, which is Anavar, which a lot of these fitness competitors in the bikini division take. They take amongst other things. But that's the most popular. Guys want it as well. It's like the hardest to get, most expensive, but they want it. It has the lowest side effects. But a lot of these women see the negative effects where they virilize. Now, virilization is where they take male characteristics, the jaw, the deep voice, facial hair, enlarged other body parts. That's the fear, but that's when they virilize. They've taken it so long that their bodies start saying, okay, this is where you want me to be.
Yeah. And I was saying, like, also, you have on one end, you can lose too much fat, and then you just kind of look unnatural.
Yeah.
Same with muscle. That's what I was saying. Bodybuilders, not necessarily looking the best. Like, some of them are too muscular.
Yes.
I think there's a certain balance.
Yes.
That we have to find.
There is. And for me, I don't train bodybuilders. That's not my forte. For me, one, I like looks and function, and that is just for looks. If you ever saw those guys walk upstairs, they're huffing and puffing. I don't know, one, how they scratch their own back. I don't know how they wipe their backside. Multiple negative things, and it's not functional. Most of us want to be functional. And as much as I move like a robot now because of all of my injuries, if I was that size, you just lose everything you like to do. You lose your activities that you do outside. I would lose my skiing, playing with your kids. Those guys playing with their kids are huffing and puffing, chasing after their 2-year-old. It's just for show. It's not for go.
So what about going back to hormones?
Mm-hmm.
I think we had the discussion before, but if you can refresh me, there are ways to enhance, like, workout with, like, a smart way to do testosterone and stuff like that.
Yes. Hormone therapy is one of the hottest things right now with a lot of doctors. It's hormone replacement therapy, TRT, testosterone replacement therapy. And men's testosterone, it's measured by nanograms per deciliter. And below, the lowest that they have is 200. If you're below 200 nanograms per deciliter, you are considered low testosterone. Men best operate from 500 to 700. When people go anabolic and when they get muscles and build, they're way over in the thousands.
But that depends on age also, right?
Correct.
Some,
age,
like, after a certain age, they will not be naturally 500.
Yeah, it starts probably after 25 is when you hit full maturity. A lot of people don't realize with men maturing and going through puberty, it settles down about after 25. Some guys are different, all its variations, but 25 seems to be a happy number. Even with testosterone therapy, they'll never give it to a kid that's under 25. It's usually over 25. For a kid to have a low testosterone at 25, super rare. Something has to go completely wrong for them. And as we get older, it lowers. But you can keep it higher by being active and eating right and being healthier, but some people will be cursed with having a lower testosterone. So usually we gain the older years, doctors will prescribe you testosterone therapy, and they will bring up your levels to where you're most optimal. And it comes with a lot of testing, blood testing, so they can find, so you don't get the negative effects. If what you see when people start taking too much, they get the negative effects. They'll get gynecomastia, which is breast tissue. They'll grow, muscle, but they'll get the negative effects. They'll get back hair, loss of hair, DHT starts converting into their scalp and losing their hair.
So, like, I always had this negative connotation. People say, oh, he's jacking up or whatever, like working out, not natural.
Yeah.
But there is a way to do it in a sense that it is somewhat natural.
Mm-hmm.
You're just restoring your testosterone levels.
Correct.
What are the commonly known, like, people say that's not natural, whatever, he's working out?
So the hottest one is, are you natty? That's what the influencer is saying, are you natty? And for years, there's been forefront influencers on YouTube and Instagram that have called people out. They'll go up to people and they'll say, are you natty?
So what does that mean?
That means, are you natural?
Oh, okay.
Which has a large spectrum now, because now people see TRT as the way out. You'll see these jacked guys. Oh, I'm on TRT. Oh, you're forgiven. That's a lie too. They're on a massive quantity of TRT. Even Arnold Schwarzenegger in his documentary lied, in my opinion, and many others, lied about his dosage. And also said he was on it, he was only on steroids for 3 months. No, he wasn't. We all know it. He was on it since he was 14 years old and cranked it and cranked it and cranked it. Again, in most of our opinions.
So what's considered like natural and normal?
Natural means you are not taking anything into your body that isn't produced by your own body. Even peptides now.
So supplementing testosterone is considered still natural?
No, it would be called, you'd be on TRT. They won't see this natural. Creatine would be considered natural.
And what's creatine?
Creatine is the most popular supplement that was made popular by Mark McGuire when he was on steroids. And he told everybody, I'm just taking creatine. Creatine is a supplement that promotes muscle building, also helps with brain cognitivity.
So do you recommend doing creatine?
Yes, creatine is probably the best supplement you could possibly take.
And how do I source creatine?
So you can get it from any Amazon, GNC.
No side effects?
No side effects that have been known. None. And it's been used for over 40 years.
And that's still like if somebody supplementing with creatine, that's considered natural?
Correct. It's not been banned by WADA, which is the World Anti-Doping Association.
But testosterone, the guy has low testosterone, 200, and he wants to be in that 500 range.
Mm-hmm.
So he's getting whatever TRT, that's already not considered natural.
Correct.
Is there a natural way to get the testosterone level up?
Yes. Diet, working out. You can take some supplement pills.
Doesn't matter what age?
It doesn't matter what age. It will increase a little bit. Will it increase as much as taking a prescription? Absolutely not. And there's multiple ways to take that, from roll-ons. They can roll on your armpits, inner thigh. Then you can take also a pellet that is replaced once a month. Well, not replaced.
Have you tried the testosterone treatment yourself?
I have not. So interested when I go get my levels, I will for sure take it in the future. Is because
at what point do you recommend people to do it?
When you lose your energy, you just can't make it throughout the day. Especially for us, we're working so many hours. If you're just exhausted, your sleep is poor, go get your levels tested and then see where they are. But I've had low testosterone after when I got my ulcerative colitis. My white blood cell count was through the roof, and I had a 147 testosterone count. And it was horrible, but I couldn't. 10 o'clock hit, I wanted to take a nap, I was asleep, it was awful, I couldn't lift, nothing I could do. But that was due to being sick. So that there's many things that happen. I mean, you could be stressed, sleep is the most essential thing for your body, and most of us don't get enough of it. So your testosterone levels are going to go down. Also, kids consideration. If you want to have kids, being on testosterone therapy is going to give you a less chance percentage.
Oh, that decreases
correct
fertility?
Yes.
Also kind of counterintuitive to me because like people on testosterone want to do things.
That's right. Exactly. That's it, because it raises your libido. Now, it is not birth control.
So if it raises libido, why does it reduce fertility?
Well, it shuts off your production. So it shuts off your natural testosterone production.
And the natural testosterone is what's responsible for fertility?
Correct. So if you shut down your natural production and you're getting it from an outside source, that's going to shut down your fertility.
Interesting.
That's also why you'll get the negative effects. So when people take too much testosterone, your body has to produce a hormone. And what's the antithesis of testosterone? Is estrogen. So that's when gynecomastia and so forth will form.
Interesting stuff. What time is it, by the way?
It's 5:39.
Okay, we got to go. Time to go work out.
Yes.
So just to conclude, thank you very much. I think it's great that, first of all, very hot topic. I think a lot of people should get into fitness and health the natural way. For some people, that might be with supplementing with creatines or maybe testosterone, maybe Ozempic, depends on the case. But obviously, nothing replaces good old-fashioned just working out. And I do want to cover other topics with you. The great thing is you're right next to me.
Yes. Right.
We'll continue to do another podcast soon. I think you want to start your own podcast soon. And people should definitely follow you. I highly recommend anybody in Southern California that doesn't have too much time on their hand and wants the most efficient, jam-packed workout routine. That's the place to go, The Look. Thank you, Bryan.
Thank you.
Good having you.
Yes, thanks.
Let's
for
go
being here.
work out.
All right.